Yo, what up, guys? It's September 13th, Friday. And unfortunately for me, it felt like a Friday the 13th because it was super unlucky for me. I took some decent losses. I ended up I ended up only losing today by a little bit, but it was still not a great day for me trading wise. I'm gonna show you guys here why. So today I traded TTOO on a short. Got in again. I saw this pattern forming. It wasn't as clear cut as the other days where I've been shorting these plays, these big runners. But this morning it looked like it was sort of consolidating like I usually like to play these things. And I got in around two. What was my entry? Two. 295. 295 very early in the morning, risking off of $3, and it immediately had a great drop. This first huge drop I completely missed. It just bounced straight back on up and pushed all the way back up to 2.93. I had an order sitting at 2.75 that was not hit, and I had to just wait for it to come back down. It eventually came back down, and I took off 500 shares. But I didn't cover up the full 800 shares that I was short. So this thing started to go back up on me, and I was sort of working on a couple of other things at the moment. And when this thing just comes back on up like this, again, I need to, and this goes for you guys too if you guys end up playing this strategy, you got to get out in the first hour or so because these sort of plays tend to, if they have some strength behind them after the first hour and they're holding up just below the resistance, usually they like to U-shape back on up, which is what happened right here. After the first hour or so, this thing started to gain some strength and started to have some higher lows, and eventually pushed on up and squeezed the rest of my 300 shares, and I had to cover at a 306 average, right around up here. So that was one position, and in a different account, I actually reshorted it for even more, 1,000 shares at a 2.96 average. But along with the first position, I covered them both up at 3.06. Took a $100 loss on the second trade on the second account, and took a realized gain of $64. Would have been 150 or maybe even 200 if I got out around here. I think it was around 150, 160 to be realistic. But it just went back up on me, and I was just too patient. I forgot the rules of this pattern. I was working on so many different things this morning that my mind was just not completely 100% there. I was just kind of watching the level 2 on the side and watching the chart. But that's my fault. I should have been covered up by the first hour, especially once this thing was holding. I should have probably tried getting out at 2.8, and I just broke the rules. I just broke the rules, and that's what happens when you break the rules. You take some losses, and the market will humble you. So that was my first. Oh, actually, this whole trade on TTOO was my second and third trade on the day. My first trade was a big mistake on RUHN. I would say big. I'm saying big mistake, not because dollar-wise it was a big mistake, but big mistake because it was totally avoidable. I got in this play too early in the morning. I don't know what came over me, but I was just eager to jump in on this, thinking that it would have a huge drop, but it just got a big volume yesterday, so I should have waited for what was to show today, and then think about a short maybe Monday or after hours today. But this morning, I guess I was super eager. I'm not gonna lie, and I thought this $7 area, this $7 area would hold. I gave it some wiggle room all the way up to 710, thinking that this old support would hold as resistance. But I was quickly humbled because I got in at, I think it was 447 when I got in. So it was very early, guys. It was 447. I don't know, it was 447. My entry was at 6.97 with 400 shares, risking off of the 710 area. I got out on this candle right here, or this candle, one of these two candles right here, at 710, and took a $52 loss on that. That should have been avoided completely. I should have not have been in on that play. But again, when you're going against your lessons, your rules, you're gonna pay, and that's what happened today. So on the day, let me calculate this out. I have I took a loss on my TTOO, and then I had a gain on my TTTO. So negative 36, and then minus the $52 loss on the RUHN. So I'm down $88.8 on the day. Not bad. You know, luckily I did make some good money yesterday, so you know I'll be fine for this week. For this week, I think I'm actually pretty good for this week. Oh wait, no, it's just for this day. Let me do for this week real quick. For this week, I'm up $534. So it's been a good week. Wow, now that I look at it, wow, it's been a pretty good week. So happy about that. Happy about that. Very good. Very good week. I'm gonna close this week off, and I'm gonna go ahead to a San Francisco Giants game with some family and just enjoy the weekend, relax, cool down. I have a lot of work ahead of me tomorrow. I'm gonna do some more market research, analyze some plays, go over some lessons, and I might drop a video, so stay tuned. All right, you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy, and I'll be back on Monday.